our right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And I remember thinking, how did he know to put the pursuit part in there? That maybe happiness is something that we can only pursue, and maybe we can actually never have it, no matter what.
This is just the introduction section, so if you wanted to skip through this, you can go ahead and feel free to do that. This is just going to be a little coverage on, my background with Valkyrie, how long I've been playing the class, etc., why I play it. As for one being, I've been playing the class for about a year or so now. I started playing Black Desert late 2016, so probably around this time, October, November. And ever since I did pick up the class, I've thoroughly enjoyed it, no doubt. There's been very few flaws, and even then, they managed to fix those flaws with, for example, one being Terra Sancta and Verdict casting speed. We'll go over that later in the video, but I play this class mostly because it has the kit I've been looking for in a class for quite a while now. I've not found another class in another game that's similar to this. It's obviously, Lancer and Terra, and it is the similar weapon style, but it wasn't my playstyle. We'll go over playstyle preferences here in this next section, but that's just a little bit about me. Hope you guys enjoy the video. So this is what I would consider a bit more of an aggressive playstyle. A playstyle more to where you're focused on harassing your opponent, not letting them get a single breath of air. Of course some mistakes were made in these clips. It happens, but more focused on not letting your opponent take a breather, keeping the pressure on and constantly harassing them to the point to where they either have to blow an important cooldown at the bad time, or where they can't do much and they have to take a CC, where they have to take your damage. They'll have to do something that's not good on their part. It's naturally my playstyle to play aggressive. Some Valkyries play otherwise, to where they stay a bit more on the defensive / counter style, and that's good too. There's no wrong playstyle for the class, whatever fits and whatever suits you best. But this is what I would define as a bit more aggressive than most. A lot of people tend to say that, hey, you're one of the more aggressive Valkyries I play against. What do you do in certain situations? I'm like, well, I don't let them breathe. I don't let them get any breathing room. I don't ease up the pressure. If I can be on them, I will be on them. And that's just the way I personally choose to play the class. Now we can get more into the nitty-gritty of the defense style. There's nothing wrong with a defensive playstyle. Some people choose to take over this playstyle. This is more or less based around waiting for your opponent to do something to you before you actually choose to counterattack, whether it be, a left click into a Hostilidium to their back. Usually that works to catch an enemy's back, per se if the Sork is a violation through you. A left click Hostilidium, and then you'll be either A, hitting their back or their side. Usually most of the time it'll KD them too. But this is a much more counterattack based playstyle, where you play more reactory as opposed to playing more offensive and making your opponent react to what you're doing. This personally is not my niche, but to each their own. There's nothing wrong with playing defensive, and for some it works better than playing offensive, so. Right, as for Valkyrie's important stats, Valkyrie's only important stats truly are going to be just casting speed and movement speed. Critical hit for PvE if you like. That's not really necessary since all of our important skills have 100% crit for the most part. There's some tricks I'll show for that to you later. Attack speed is not necessary whatsoever. I just have it because of my crystal setup right now. It'll be changing very soon, but that's just a rundown of the hard stats that Valkyrie needs. On the note of hard stats, percentage does stack over hard stats. Say you have +5 casting speed. If you have a skill add-on that gives you a percentage casting speed, that will stack on top of what you have over hard cap. So you'll have technically 5.56 casting speed depending on how many add-ons you stack, but that's just a rundown of how that works. That applies for all of the hard stats. Then comes around one of the best parts of the video, skill guide. So evasion you definitely want to lock, just because that skill when you're running low on SP will usually always mess you up, so you don't want to be rolling around because that leaves you vulnerable. Next skill you definitely want to grab and max out is Breath of Alien. Breath of Alien being your main healing ability, one of your main healing abilities. You'll definitely need that on the battlefield. Sword of Judgment. I like to throw this in at the end of an Awakened combo. At times where you don't have all your cooldowns up, you're definitely going to need Sword of Judgment and Ultimate Sword of Judgment too. Ultimate Sword of Judgment adds the extra hit in this 3-hit combo that you can cancel by casting Sharp Light or by casting Celestial Spear. Moving on, we're going over to Alien's Blessing. Alien's Blessing is actually a very, very, very important skill. As short of a duration as it has, and as long of a cooldown as it has, there's a reason for that. It's your own personal protect area. It works for your allies and people around you. Very, very important. For shield throw, you definitely want to have that maxed out and get the ultimate shield throw too. Note that shield throw is also one of my abilities that has an add-on on it. That just says how much I actually use the ability itself in PvP. Going down to Just Counter. Just Counter is a very important ability for catching people out. Being able to catch someone out with Just Counter saves a lot of your important cooldowns, and you're also able to make a lot of good plays off of this ability. I like to grab the ultimate version of Just Counter so you can also get that second stab out of it in case the first stab doesn't get them stiffed. That will also have to do with a combo that I'll show you later. It's a combo I'll show you later in the combo section that involves using Shield Chase and Just Counter and Counter. Speaking of Counter, Counter is also one of my go-to abilities for one of my favorite combos. I'll show you guys that later. Note that it also has a skill add-on on it. Just goes to show how much I truly do use this ability. Moving down once again though, we have Sharp Light. Sharp Light is a very important ability just for more utility. It's one good way to get back into your Awakening without having to blow an important cooldown. Obviously you can just A or left click and then spacebar, but it's also, putting out a little bit of damage before you swap back. Grabbing Ultimate and the last version of Punishment. The last version of Punishment obviously just for the floating and more damage on it. Ultimate so you can cancel an ability out of Punishment. So per se you cast the wrong ability, you can actually cancel it with grab if you're close enough to your target. Heaven's Echo you definitely want to have maxed out. Note that Heaven's Echo is the 20 DP 12% accuracy buff, so you definitely need that maxed out because you can cast that in your Awakening stance. Celestial Spear, that is my last of 3 pre-awakened add-ons that we'll go over pretty soon here. It's one of my go-to abilities for all of my combos. Obviously, a lot of Valkyries use Celestial Spear for everything they can to get that KD, get that % crit out of it. It's a very good ability to have maxed out. As for the Awaken tree, you definitely want to go about having everything in the Awakening tree maxed out. I only have Lancey training scaled up just because I have a lot of extra skill points that I don't see being put in use anywhere else. So I'm capitalizing on getting Lancey training all the way up, maybe just up to Lancey training 9 for the 20% movement speed buff upon A and D left clicking. But once again, that's only for luxury, you do not need it. I guess you could say the reasons I run my add-ons are more specifically for 1v1s. They're not really that, they're not really all that for group fighting, but 1v1s, I feel like, in my opinion, I mentioned earlier in this video, everything in this video is opinion based. In my opinion, these are thebomb.com skill add-ons. We're going to be starting off with Celestial Spear having PvP 5 attack and critical plus 20%, meaning that Celestial Spear will give you 100% critical rate because this skill as a base on its own already gives you plus 80%. Having that add-on will give you 100% crit for X amount of time, giving you, a lot of skills to capitalize on per se if you want to Celestial Spear, Spacebar, Hostiludium, for example. Shield Throw has the bleed and PvP attack damage bonus on it because I always use Shield Throw all the time, trust me. counter, I'll show you guys the counter combo that I use all the time. It's one of my go-tos. Castigation has the movement speed decrease, down smash percentage. Sanctitas de Enslar has the PvP attack up and the 59 bleed. And my Terra Sancta has a 20% down smash and 10% movement speed reduction. I went similar add-ons for my Castigatio and my Terra Sancta, more or less for the fact that I really want to be able to have that extra chance to CC my opponent. And that's my reasons behind most of my add-ons. Alright, so for here in the skill tips and combo guidance section, I am going to have my Muskins off, just so we can be sure that my opponent has 100% accuracy while testing these theories, or better yet, testing these supers while hitting me. What we're going to go ahead and do right now, we're actually going to go ahead and test super armor abilities, just to display which abilities have super armor, which abilities can be extended for super armor. So just there we've managed to test the jump, the super armor on the F jump. What we did was we tested once while I was in the air, second hit me when I hit the ground, just to show that the skill has super armor. Second time we did the F jump test, we actually had him hit me when I was already on the ground with both hits of his knockdown ability. Neither of them hit because of the lingering super armor in the F jump. What we just went ahead and tested there was the same ability against the shift right. That's the verdict. Faster casting speed in the verdict as of one of the recent patches. Not very recent, but it's happened within the past months. It did manage to speed up that super, which in some cases is and isn't good. It's very debatable. And we also went ahead and tested super on the Terra Sancta casting from behind. At the moment what we're doing is testing the Deathline Chase auto attack. This is Deathline Chase left click for the float ability on it. The Deathline Chase auto isn't always 100% chance to float, but it is a nice thing to know that you can float with Deathline Chase auto attack. It's a very safe way to try and float someone, because you can put up your block immediately afterwards. What we're testing now is shield chase to the side through your target, because Deathline Chase and shield chase work if you're going sideways or backwards through your target. If you attempt to move forward through your target with shield chase or Deathline Chase, it will not go through your target. Only sideways or backwards it will go through your target. You move sideways through your target with shield chase and use counter to actually get the float up on them. This only applies to classes with a soft block, such as classes that are not warrior and that are not Valkyrie. Sorry about that. Here what we went ahead and did was we tested out the just counter. It's the same method as using shield chase into counter, but it's shield chase into just counter. Alright, it's time to get to the best part of the video, the combo guidance part. I'm pretty sure what everyone was waiting for. Of course there's going to be a timestamp to go ahead and skip straight ahead to this part, so I'm assuming this is where I'll catch most of you guys for the first time in the video. This is actually the skill guidance, or the combo guidance part of the video. What I'm going to be doing is showing you my go-to combo in terms of 1v1 PvP. So it starts off in Awaken stance with a shift left click, which is Purification, catch him with that. Purification, 2 hits of Sacrum Ferret for the debuff, or for the buff stack on yourself. Blitz Stab for the knockback, Shield Chase to the side, counter, Shield Throw, Celestial Spear, Prominence back in, down stab 2 times, grab them, Sharp Light, and then you're gonna Sword of Judgment. From that you could actually extend the combo even longer if you like with a WF after you go to spacebar back into Awaken. And I'll demonstrate that combo a couple times here. Another one of my favorite go-to combos, it's always going to be the Shift A, which is Shield Chase to the side, or Shift D, whichever you prefer. Shield Chase to the side and go directly into a Just Counter. After that Just Counter you can grab Celestial Spear, spacebar, down stab into a Hastiludium.
I never got my shot.
And if you can, try to get off the Blitz Stab. If not, yeah, have to get out. One thing I'm going to be displaying next is actually how different it is to ulti, having not used Celestial Spear. It's such a big difference not having used Celestial Spear if you do choose to ulti without using that skill. So what I usually choose to do is I Wave of Light, Celestial Spear, and from Celestial Spear I go directly into the jump, the ulti jump. That will actually pump out a lot more damage. As I'm showing you here, I only have 133 Awaken AP because of disregard the Pride Dandy for now. But I only have 133 Awakened AP for this ulti test. The first ulti test will be an ultimate without having used Celestial Spear before. And you'll see the damage difference compared to when I did use Celestial Spear before. Although the second ulti cast was a little bit different, because I did hit him with some of the waves of the ulti pulsing out. It's been proven, regardless of this test here, that you should preferably always use Celestial Spear before you ult. And if you want to do this in a group fight, preferably do Wave of Light, Celestial Spear, ulti. Avoid just directly using the ult, because then it won't pump out any damage. Your main goal with the ulti is to have 100% crit, which is another reason I have the Celestial Spear crit add-on for 100% crit chance. It makes it that much more devastating to actually hit your ultimate. Anyone who sat through all 20-ish minutes of this video, thank you so much. It's my first time doing any video of this sort. There's a couple things I purposely didn't go over. You know, of course, if I miss anything, you know, feel free to let me know. I put a good amount of effort into this video, but let me know what you guys think in the comments. I'd love to get feedback from everyone to see if I should continue to do content like this. You know, of course, it'll be organized a lot better in the future. I won't be all over the place as much as I was today. And please do really let me know if this guide was, you know, helpful at all in any sense. If If you guys have any questions, feel free. My in-game name is at the beginning of the video during the introduction, when I was talking about, who I am and why I play Valk and all that. But yeah, whoever did sit through all this, thank you very much. I appreciate the support. There's always the Twitch channel if you guys want to follow that. Possibly catch me live. I'm usually live in the mornings at the moment, but we'll see. Schedules change and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, once again, thank you guys very much. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I wish you guys a great night and best of luck with Valkyrie. It's an amazing class, really.